Like and subscribe right now or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week. Anyone who's ever been stung by a bee knows that's a pain you won't forget anytime soon.
Let's say a tapir or a bear sticks their fingers or their snouts.
What happens if you get stung by an insect whose bite is 50 times more powerful than that? In our fascination with the largest animals in the world, we give little thought to the tiniest of insects, whose bites are painful enough to render you unconscious or give you days of misery. Take, for example, the bullet ant, the number one on our list today, whose bite may keep you in throes of agony for up to 12 hours. Check out this video of the 10 most painful insect stings in the world. Number 10. The sweat bee. Don't be fooled by this little creature. It isn't like the other bees whose stings aren't much of a big deal. The sweat bee is so called because of its attraction to the salt released in human perspiration, aka sweat. In case you find yourself next to a nest, make sure you're sweat-free or splash on plenty of antiperspirant, because if these guys sting you, be prepared for the most painful experience of a lifetime. And yeah, it might be enough to holler for mommy. Unlike honeybees, sweat bees are just 3 to 10 millimeters in length, whose main job is just to keep pollinating. Sweat bees are commonly found everywhere on Earth, and in huge colonies in North America. The best way to recognize sweat bees is their common yellow and black color, because of the pollen covering their bodies. It's only the female of the species that will sting you though, and that's only when they're agitated. And if that happens, you may want to scream. The immediate thing to do when one of these blighters stings you is to try and remove the sting, since it'll keep transferring venom into your bloodstream. Apple cider vinegar is considered a helpful remedy for sweat bee sting, and baking soda can help relieve the itching. But hey, if it's too bad, see your doctor. Number 9. The fire ant. A fire ant may only be 2 to 6 millimeters in size, but when it bites you, it makes you feel as if you're literally on fire. Yes, the pain's that bad. These tiny, minuscule guys are notorious because of a sting and pain lasting for days. Fire ants are found in thousands, living in the rainforest of Central and South America. They may be tiny little guys, but their aggression could be worse than a hungry lion or tiger. They're violent in nature and will attack anything and everything that disturbs their happy home. The pain from a fire ant bite can last for up to 12 hours and cause raised welts that ultimately form into pustules. It can also cause extreme itching, shortness of breath, and nausea. When bitten by a fire ant, wash the area with soap and water. Applying ice can relieve pain and prevent skin damage. If you thought a fire ant bite was akin to hell, what would you say to the sting of a yellow jacket? Number 8. Yellow jacket wasp. This is one wasp you would do well to stay away from, and if you happen to find a yellow jacket nest in the vicinity of your home, call an exterminator immediately. The yellow jacket is distinct for its yellow and black markings, and it's one of the most dangerous wasp species found all around the world. They live in large colonies, and one nest alone will contain as many as 4,000. Yellow jackets usually live in large paper nests built in trees, underground, or dense brush. But sometimes, they might end up making a nest in buildings too. The average size of a yellow jacket is around 12 millimeters or half an inch, with a queen measuring up to 1 inch. Yellow jackets make sweat bees pale in comparison, at least where aggression is concerned. They will attack in hordes and continue stinging you with no mercy. A yellow jacket sting can cause overwhelming pain, breathing difficulty, chest tightness, swelling, weakness, and fainting. You may also find your speech slurring too. If stung, you should go to a doctor. But as an emergency treatment, you can try vinegar and ice to relieve itching and pain. Even worse than a yellow jacket is our next little bundle of hell, the bullhorn acacia ant. Number 7. Bullhorn acacia ants. Meet the mafia of the Amazon, an ant that provides protection to a plant in exchange for its resources. Bullhorn ants share a symbiotic but mutually beneficial relationship with acacia plants throughout Central America. While bullhorn acacia plants provide shelter and a nest for the ants on the other hand act as guards for the plants. Bullhorn ants will build their nest in the thorns of the plant and even get food like protein and nectar from it. The acacia releases a horrible smell, but then that's like a Paris perfume for the ant who's attracted to the plant mainly because of it. Don't even think of handling a bullhorn acacia ant, even if necessary. If bitten by these aggressive buggers and notorious ant species, you might feel you're on fire. The bite's that painful. Bullhorn ants are so aggressive, they'll go about attacking smaller species and show no restraint if other species or even humans tries to touch the host plant. Number 6. The bald-faced hornet. Calling this insect baldy isn't gonna make it feel bad and fly away. A bald-faced hornet's sting is so bad, it can itch, hurt, and swell, but the pain is excruciating. Bald-faced hornets don't sting you once, they do so multiple times, and the pain can last a good 24 hours. But hey, you know what? They aren't exactly hornets. They are the larger cousins of the yellow jacket, and more of a large wasp. Sounds fun. Each of these six-legged species can grow quite large, up to 20 millimeters in size, and are colored black with a white head. Bald-faced hornets make really huge aerial nests that can contain up to 400 to 600 of them. These large and vicious creatures do attack, and it isn't advisable to get rid of the nest if you see one. This is a job for a professional exterminator. Unless, of course, you want to know what it means to feel horrible pain. No judgment. But did you know there's an even meaner species of wasp than these bald guys? And that's the tarantula hawk wasp. Doesn't even the name scare you? Number 5. Tarantula hawk wasp. There are many who tell you that the tarantula wasp is not deadly, but don't let that make you any less wary of them. A sting by the tarantula wasp isn't fatal. It doesn't cause necrosis like the brown recluse. But wait a minute, the tarantula wasp sting will give you the worst 5 minutes of your life. That's right, the pain from the sting lasts for 5 minutes. But it's easily the most intense and torturous agony you will ever experience. Unlike the aggressive gang on this list, tarantula wasps do not attack unless provoked. However, when they do, remember what we told you, as they are often considered the most painful of all insects. In fact, a tarantula wasp can even take out a tarantula spider by paralyzing and dragging it into its own den. Number 4. Brown recluse spiders. Imagine a spider crawling on your wall. What's the first thing you want to do? Smash it, right? Well, you could let it go because most spiders are insignificant and harmless. But what happens when it's a brown recluse spider? You might want to start packing. If a brown recluse gets into your path, don't wait, run! This is one of the most notorious arachnids in America, and its venom is dangerous for both animals and humans. The venom of a brown recluse is known to cause a nasty condition called necrosis. The venom penetrates deep into muscle tissue, blackening the skin, making it all crusty till it starts peeling off. Necrosis is a constant degeneration of skin tissue, and depending on the intensity of the bite, you may be in for a pretty hard time. And horror of horrors, there's no antidote yet, so brown recluse is best avoided at all costs. Speaking of skin necrosis, and when aren't we? The next insect is so nasty it can cause skin damage and pain that could last for days. And you may have never even heard of it. Number 3. Rove beetle. You might have heard of the blister beetle and how it causes nasty pimples and pus-filled pustules on your skin. It could get pretty painful too, but that's nothing compared to the rove beetle. This is a tiny insect, just 1 centimeter long. Yet its venom can cause nasty conditions ranging from just a round spot of pimples to horrible skin lesions, extreme swelling, and pain. This winged little monster from hell has coloring to match. It has a dark orange body and an upper body and head which is completely black. It actually looks like a harmless winged ant, but when these beetles get into your skin, be prepared for a nightmare lasting 10 days, at least. The body of the rove beetle contains the most poisonous animal contact toxin in the world, called pterin. In fact, it's 12 times more poisonous than cobra venom. While they don't bite, a collision with the beetle while sleeping or if it gets crushed against you results in the venom being smeared against your skin. This causes several dermatological conditions, like dermatitis linearis, Peder's dermatitis, whiplash dermatitis, and more. Confused with herpes zoster, the venom causes severe blistering that can develop into huge lesions in the skin, which are extremely painful to the touch. The situation can take a course of up to a week or even 10 days until it ultimately diminishes, but there may also be a scar. If the rove beetle has a competitor, it's the giant water bug whose bite is the very epitome of pain. Number 2. The giant water bug. The giant water bug may be considered a delicacy in some parts of the world, but if these insects sting you, you're going to wish you were dead. Giant water bugs are found in North America, South America, Northern Australia, and Asia, and are known to inhabit ponds and water bodies. They can be found living in the streams of Santa Monica Mountains, and if they bite you, then you're in trouble. A single bite from a giant water bug may not be considered fatal, but oh man. Believe me when I say this, it is currently the most painful of all insects on the earth, with the pain from its bite lasting several hours. Not just that, they'll also release a horrible scent from their backside when attacked, so that's a double whammy. Nothing like stinking a guy when he's down. Thanks, giant water bug. Number 1. The bullet ant. How would you feel if a bullet were shot at you? If you'd really like to know, then simply go ahead and get bitten by a bullet ant. According to the Schmidt's Pain Index, a bullet ant bite is the most painful bite among any insect on the planet. Professor Schmitz described the pain as pure, intense, brilliant pain, like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel, and rates it as a 4.0. That doesn't sound too comfy. The pain from bullet ant bites, which releases a painful neurotoxin, has been likened to a range of conditions from a bullet piercing you, an electric shock, or blinding, agonizing, intense pain that renders you unconscious. Bullet ants are the largest of the ant family and throng the Amazon rainforests, and are little tortured chambers of agony. But you know what? If there is one mad set of humans willing to be bitten by the vicious bullet ant, it is the satyr maw, a tribe of the Amazons who make young adolescent boys go through the most unbearable rave experience. As a coming-of-age ritual, the boys will have to wear gloves filled with bullet ants and dance to their shaman's music. The boys are made to repeat the process till they can go through the paralysis without crying for help.